All right, everybody, welcome back to the Flozone Podcast. Make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe. We're trying to hit 100 subs by the end of the year. Remember, there's an Amazon gift card going out. Four people will win $25 Amazon gift card. We're going to get right back into it. So, big news happened this week, or last week, rather. R. Kelly officially got locked up for all the nasty stuff that he's done over time.
As he
And,
should.
yeah, rightfully so. And apparently, there's news coming out that R. Kelly might be pulling a 6ix9ine and trying to get himself a little less time by dropping a dime here or there. You never know. But I wanted to get
Drop piggy.
I wanted to make some jokes and then say some real stuff on Robert. So is there any is there anything we have to say about Mr. Kelly?
Um,
Um,
I'm happy the man is finally in jail, where he deserves to rot. How much time is he getting? Life in prison?
He could probably face life.
Dagger.
He deserves life. Um, from the stories we've heard from the victims and stuff like that, him marrying Aaliyah and paying off bribes when she was only a 15-year-old, him like defecating on a woman, um,
Face.
yeah, basically
Child,
holding women
child.
child, um holding women and children hostage. Basically, it's the emotional abuse, the physical abuse that this man put these victims through is just horrific, and I just hope he like burns in hell for the rest of eternity. When it comes to him snitching out other pedophiles, I guess, or other sexual abusers, I don't think it's gonna be like Jeffrey Epstein big, where he probably had dirt on like high ranking officials. It could be like artists that we like, or people, like
Producers.
maybe some music execs.
Executives.
Yeah, but I don't think it's gonna be like some like politicians or anything like that, or CEO moguls that run the world. Basically, I don't think it's gonna be like that.
You never know. It's Robert Kelly, man. He's tapped into everywhere. And I may be smiling, but like that dude has a vice grip on a generation. Like he really does. Uh, like I want to tell Robert Kelly, like, dog, give me my auntie back. Why you have her in a stranglehold? Like, Jesus Christ, give us our black aunts back. They're out here protesting and marching in these streets. They weren't even in these streets for BLM, but they're out here marching for you. Like, what the hell? Give us our aunties back.
Dog, R. Kelly is a menace to society. Um, it's. I want to say it's so unfortunate because usually when it comes to situations like this, it's like it's hurt people hurt people. So something had to have. Usually kids don't like aren't kids. People don't come out like this. So usually something had to have happened to him for him to do this to other people. Hurt people hurt people.
I think he was sexually abused by like a relative, or it was something like that, or he like lost his virginity, or to someone who was like way older than him. I think it was something like around those two. But yeah,
It's really sad and unfortunate. Listen, I do think that he has to go to prison for the things that he's done. The fact that he didn't go to prison the first time when they caught you in 144p is like kind of shocking to me because you were literally on tape. But the thing is, like, you are such a huge artist that everyone kind of just brushed it to the side,
brushed it up.
and you had the whole music industry behind you. So like, people weren't just gonna let you go down, especially when you came out with the remix to Ignition that was hot and fresh out of the kitchen. Um, Listen, man, when it comes to this R. Kelly shit, especially at least for the snitching part, like, you don't think that, I feel like it's bullshit. I feel like if he's in such a bad position that if he was gonna snitch, he would have started snitching a while ago. I don't know if there's anybody to snitch on. Now that I think about it,
No,
there was a one person that I named. I said Jay Z, but that's because there were allegations of him messing with a yard artist that was young at the time. But those were allegations; those weren't like proven. But like, who could he really snitch on? Like, R. Kelly, I feel like he's put all his cards on the table. Like there's not really many things you can do unless you snitch on like some random label executive or something.
Yeah, exactly. Unless you're going after someone who's deep in the industry, a label executive, it could be another artist that's just notable. Like a lot of these artists are very strange people, to say the least. And I wouldn't be surprised if there's more, or if there's some sort of network and he's just gonna go all out.
Well, yeah, there's
Because
definitely a network of it because there's people basically sweeping this under the rug for him. There's people out there getting him the girls to
yeah,
abuse,
exactly.
people
So it's
in
like
positions to cover things up, to bribe people, to do this for him. There's got to be a network of. I mean, before we had that conspiracy theory that there was a network of people doing this for high level execs, and people would call you stupid and crazy for that. They're like, "Yo, what are you talking about?" And
some
then
on
Jeffrey Epstein came out, and then we were like, "Oh, this is actually real." So he probably did have a whole network of this, and he might expose it. Who knows?
Yeah,
because I view this as a endangered animal in a corner. Like this is literally a Hail Mary. Because this is so deep into this case where Sean is right. He would have started saying something earlier. Like he probably thought at bare minimum he would maybe get 5, 10 years, and now he's facing life. So I imagine he's just trying to get like, I don't know, maybe 10, 20 years. Just call it a day.
my thing is the thing I'm confused about now is like the people that were around him because there's when I watched the documentary I only watched Surviving R. Kelly documentary part 1 and that was I only watched it when it first came out but like there's people in the documentary literally admitting to covering it up for him. So are they gonna face charges as well? I hope that they do, because you can't just admit to a crime on a documentary and not face charges.
There
Like we're
got to
not
be
gonna
something.
allow that.
There's got to be a charge like aiding and abetting rape or something like that.
There probably is, but I don't know, man. This dude is really gonna snitch on other predators. But like the thing is, I don't know if we can believe you, Robert. Like that's the biggest thing, especially if they're gonna give you life. Like you're just gonna say names to say names, and I mean like I don't know, dude. It's hard for me to feel sympathy for this guy because it's one thing where you get caught up in some shit where it's like you don't do your due diligence that one time, and that one time you end up fucking up. But it's another thing when like oh you clearly have a problem where this is just
Well,
what you go after.
well, the man, the man is just a habitual line stepper, though. Like that line was crossed long time ago. Like it was bad enough that you married a 15-year-old, but then you peed on another girl, and you abused a whole bunch of a ring of girls. Like this is just we couldn't even we never had the chance to forgive you.
I think the worst part about all of this is, dude, like how, like where do we go from here? Because I actually want to bring this up. YouTube actually banned his channels. Like I
Oh,
don't think
really?
they're allowed to make any more new uploads now. And they like some artists they started taking anything that they had music with him down. But where do we go from here? Like, I'm very concerned in terms of how do we respond to movements like this. Because if we're going to play this game, if I'm Netflix, then should I just take down any movie that was made by the Weinstein Company? So does that mean Django Unchained should just not be on Netflix anymore? And if you want to watch Django, you better have to, like, you're going to have to buy the DVD because no streaming platform or hold anything made by the Epstein Company. Or the Weinstein
I mean,
Company.
I feel like there's gonna be exceptions to like fan favorites like that, but outright, if there's gonna be like some B tier movie, you can live without it. But
it really depends, but like, because if you take off, because remember that whole situation with X, and Spotify was like, yeah, we're gonna take his music off of Spotify, but then you're not gonna take another artist's music off of Spotify who also done some bad stuff. Like
Arguably worse.
yeah, you gotta if you're gonna be if you're gonna punish one person, you gotta punish the other.
It's a very vicious domino effect. That's a problem with
And
it.
that's what I'm scared about them. I think that's the worst part about, besides the R. Kelly like situation with all the victims. I think this is another aspect of I don't want big businesses making decisions when it comes to this shit. I do
But
think
then
R.
again,
Kelly's music comes from a sick place, but if people want to still listen to it, you should let them listen to it.
But then again,
but you're almost empowering a victim. That's a problem. Because if you let it live, you're going to have to pay them.
Victims?
I don't think he owns his masters, does he?
He doesn't own his masters. But then again, it goes to the same thing. If I watch a Weinstein movie, that movie's going to Weinstein. So it's like you're supporting a horrible person. So that's my thing of like I don't want big companies to get involved when it comes to this. I think when it comes to this stuff, it should always be the consumer's choice.
But here's the thing. Don't you feel like it reflects bad on them to have something of... Because I feel like there's always an exception to the rule. And I feel like this is kind of an exception to the rule. Don't you think? Because, yeah, I understand your point of, oh, my God, they're encroaching on... Like, I should be the one who figures this stuff out. But ultimately, don't you feel like the company almost looks bad for empowering him? Because either way, even if he doesn't own his masters, guess what? He's still gonna have a whole bunch of money off his streams. We're still all gonna listen to...
The streams went up.
He probably has.
The
He
streams went
probably
up
has
22%. The streams went up 22% as soon as he got sentenced.
So it's like, dog, you're the problem is that you're empowering an abuser. And that's what I meant to say earlier. You're empowering an abuser by keeping him on there. So it's a very vicious catch-22. But I feel like with a case like this, you have to bite the bullet. And I
now.
understand it gets into a slipperier slope, but it's what has to be done.
Now, how do we go about preventing this from happening in the future?
I don't even
So
think
other victims can actually come out and say like, "Well, I was abused," and they don't have to be like pushed to the side or anything like that, or the cycle of abuse.
Oh, this
ends
shit won't
before-
slide today. This shit would not slide today. I don't care what type of artist you are. You can be as big as Drake. If some news like this comes out about you, you're fucking done, bro. Let one of them K-pop niggas do some shit like this. It's over for them. It doesn't matter.
But I'm talking. It's actually happened in the past before. But the thing is, how do we stop these people from abusing others? Try to stop this before it ends. I mean, before it starts. That's what I'm trying to get at.
I don't think there's a way to stop it. I think that this is one of those things where it's like, I don't know, dude. I don't have the answers to this.
It's one of those, like, you can only be reactionary. You can't be preventative in this way because it's a very slippery slope. And I don't even... Okay, if someone has an answer to this question, I feel like...
Put it in the comment section, please, if you have an answer to this, because I clearly don't.
Because it's like, what do you... It's like, how... Because there's multiple questions. It's like, okay, how far do you want to go with this? How far do you want to go with this? What do you think is an appropriate punishment? Which sounds like the same question, but it's not really. And also, like, I don't know, man.
Yeah, is there any final thoughts on Robert Kelly?
Ryan Hell, you piece of shit.
Is it here?
I stand with the victims of sexual assault, and I hope this never happens to another person ever again. That they have to go through something like this.
I really think it's unfortunate that he got away with it the first time because it enabled him. And he literally, as soon as he beat his case, went to do this to another person that same night. and I think that's fucked up that his victims were. It's fucked up that he did this first of all, but I think the worst part about it is it was children.
He
Like
did it again.
like he
And black women.
and black women. I
That's
just think,
that's basically the only reason why he got away with this. Because let it be Molly and fucking Taylor, and see what happens to his ass if he's abusing white girls.
that is true, but it's just very upsetting that children were. And it's obvious, like I said, it's so upsetting that anybody would do this, but the fact that it's a fucking child, bro. Like that's a kid. Like
You're destroying
I'm
the
not,
entire
yeah,
life.
yeah. Like they'll never be the same after this.
You can't be the same.
Yeah, I think we're gonna end it here. Make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe, all that other stuff. Let us know how you feel about R. Kelly. Would you still listen to his music today? Would you still, support how I don't know. Would you still listen to his music? That's actually what I want to know. Put your answer in the comments below. Make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe. Remember the 4 Amazon gift cards that we're gonna give away, $25 each if we reach 100 subs by the end of the year. Thank you for watching, man. We are the Flozone -1.